All right, buenos dias, chicos. Hope you guys are doing all right. We are going to continue on with the next segment of our regular preterite verbs. So you should have your guided notes still in front of you, and we are going to cover in this video verbs that have an I in their stem. Okay, so you should have this. Turn to this page here, and guided notes should look like this. And I'm going to pull up my PowerPoint, and we will get started. Alright, so first thing you want to do is write down your endings. And if you notice, the I stem endings, which are iste, o, imos, and hierron, are the exact same as U stem endings. Okay? Don't have any accent marks. Definitely want to distinguish between the yo form being a and the el, ella, usted form being o. Okay? Because it's kind of confusing because we're used to seeing o as the ending for the yo form in present tense. So the verbs that we're going to be taking a look at that are I stems are the following: querer, hacer, and venir. Okay? We're going to look at them one by one in a moment here, but just same thing like with U stems, these are the new stems. So for example, querer, the new stem is Q-U-I-S. And then to conjugate each form, you would add iste, o, imos, and hierron. Right? So for yo, quise, tú quisiste. And so each one of these verbs is going to follow that process. Alright? And obviously they're I stems because if you look, they all have an I in their stem, which makes them kind of have something in common. Alright, let's start with the verb querer, which means to want. In the past tense, it will mean wanted. Alright, and let's say these together. Quise, quisiste, quiso, quisimos, quisieron. Let's take a look at present tense and kind of compare the two tenses, and I will move my webcam a little bit. So in the present tense, remember, querer was E to IE. It was a stem changing verb, boot verb. Okay? Quiero, quieres, quiere, queremos, quieren. Alright? So quieres, you want. Quisiste, you wanted. And notice I also put the definition in the past tense, meaning tried, because it's in the sense that you wanted and you attempted to obtain, so you tried to do something. Alright? Next verb, hacer, means to do or to make. Past tense would be did or made. Okay, so let's go ahead and write our forms down and say these together. Hice, hiciste, hizo, hicimos, hicieron. And pay close attention right here to the third person, right? So in the el, ella, usted form, third person singular, instead of HIC, it is HIZ. And the reason why that change happens has to do with phonetics, right? So whenever a C in Spanish is followed by an O or an A, right, it gets the K sound, which does not sound like hacer, right? So instead of keeping the C, we change it to a Z just in this form, hizo, to keep the same S sound, right? Taking a look at present tense, remember, hacer had an irregular yo, hago, and then everything else was normal. Haces, hace, hacemos, hacen. Alright? So, with like our vocab word, hacer un viaje, to go on a trip. If I want to say, we're going on a trip, hacemos un viaje. We went on a trip, hicimos un viaje. And the last one for this category is venir, which means to come. The past tense would be came. And let's go ahead and take a look at our forms. Vine, viniste, vino, vinimos, vinieron. And comparing present with preterit, remember in present tense, it almost is like the verb tener in present tense. It has an irregular yo of vengo, and then the rest of it's kind of like a half boot with E to IE. Vienes, viene, venimos, vienen. Okay? And that will conclude our section of this video over I stems.